You know, on this channel, we respect women, okay? I want to get this thing right off before I start with this video. We respect women here. And because of that, I'm doing this video so that we can all collectively respect women together. But I know that some of you might really not know how to do it or how to respect women the right way. And that's why I'm doing this video for you guys to explain on how to really respect women. And for that I have a Facebook post by Nicole Stamp, and she posted this this post for the #MeToo hashtag, which I honestly think is a great thing. It gives women a platform to collectively share experiences and help them feel not as alone with their experiences anymore. If it gives women the comfort they need, then I'd say that's a good thing and it's great. But you know, as always with everything good that exists, there are always some people that take it a little bit too far, a little bit to the extreme, and anyway, this is how to respect women. Let's just get right into the first of 14 points on how to respect women. Number 1, practice these phrases. That's not cool, that's a shitty thing to say. Say them to other men who are saying disrespectful things about women, okay? Okay, makes sense. If you see someone disrespecting women, call them out and say, hey! Ain't no disrespecting women here. Okay, makes sense. Next point. Follow some feminist writers on social media. Hey, no. Sometimes what they write may seem exhausting or too angry. Put aside that discomfort because that feeling is your male privilege, allowing you to disengage from an important conversation that women don't get to disengage from. So, the thing is, when I don't want to follow a feminist because I disagree with them, it's not because I think my points are more valid than her points. It's just me, it's just my male privilege, okay? Like, I can't disagree with a feminist because I am male, okay? So you have to follow, like, this isn't even a question, you have to do it, this is your duty. Follow every feminist you see on social media, Facebook, Twitter, whatever. You cannot not follow them. If you don't follow them, you are just abusing your male privilege, and that's not okay. Respect women, follow stupid feminists on Twitter that have totally delusional ideas, but it's for respecting women. Yeah, okay. Number 3, boost female voices. When there's an issue and you're going to share an article about it, especially if it's a gender issue, take a minute and try to find one written by a woman. Yes, because it doesn't really matter what they say. It's just really about what gender the author has. If it's a woman, she's always right. If it's a male author, just pay more attention to female voices more than male voices. No, that's not sexist, by the way. That's not sexist at all, by the way. It's just that, you know, boosting female voices, it's important for respecting women. That's all you have to know. Number 4, boost what women say at work. Listen for men dismissing women's contributions and make a habit of listening and say things like, hey, Sarah has a point. Yes, actually that I can see how that makes sense, but here's the thing. If someone really sucks at their job, then it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. If that person just sucks at their job, you have every right to call them out for it. But I mean, I get it if that person actually does some good work and she just gets told that her work is shit and she should just leave simply because she's a woman. Okay, I get that, but when does that happen? Usually on work, women get the advantage. Things like that already start in school, by the way, where girls would usually, not always, but sometimes would get better grades for the pretty much exact same effort. And one prime example for that is PE or sports class, at least here in Germany. So let's say you're doing a 100-meter sprint, okay? And you have to do that sprint in a certain amount of time for a certain grade, okay? Women, in general, can be a lot slower than men for the same grade. And some might bring the argument, well, women are just simply physically not that great than men. But here's one thing I know for sure, women usually are more flexible than men, and by that usually are also better at athletics, and they get better grades for lower efforts, even though they clearly have a better flexibility and such. So doing things like high jump is already easier for women, and they also get graded for lower efforts better. So, yeah. I don't know if the same thing happens at work as well. I don't have a job yet, but I don't really see a reason why that would be any different. Anyway, let's continue. Number 5, be mindful of how you introduce women, particularly at work functions. Role model extra respect into your introduction. So often you hear men being introduced with job titles and accolades, and women introduced with the lovely or the beautiful. I guarantee you, no matter how good she looks, she'd rather be introduced by a job title and accomplishments. You know how I would want to be introduced? Hey, that's Dustin. And then she refers to something relevant. Washington Post article. At conferences, male doctors are introduced as doctor whatever. 72% of the time, female doctors are introduced using the word doctor only. 49% of the time. Okay, I can see that. But here's an idea. At a conference, do you really need to be introduced as a doctor? Because basically everyone should know you're a doctor, right? So does the introduction really matter when pretty much everyone already knows who you are? I don't know. And if the introduction really matters more than the main conversation, that's debatable. Anyway, let's move on to point number 6. At work or out in the world, don't call women cutesy names like honey, baby, darling, kiddo, young lady, girl, or dear. This is a subtle way of putting them down, elevating your own status over them as a man who is choosing to vote them as attractive and reminding them at all present that they are just cute little ladies that nobody should listen to. Of course. So I can see why she would say that if she were talking about like strangers. Calling a stranger woman, girl, or darling seems really inappropriate. But she doesn't talk about strangers. She's talking about women overall. And let me ask you, what's wrong with calling my girlfriend honey? What's so wrong with that? But apparently that's sexist, okay? And I should stop that. But the same thing happens to us as well, right? So usually when you are a couple, you call yourself each other cutesy names. It's not just men that call their girlfriend stuff like honey or darling. Women can also refer to their boyfriends as something like cutesy bear or whatever, something like that. And it's pretty much the exact same thing. And no, it does not put me over the woman. If anything, it puts me on one level, because I can't really refer to anyone as honey or darling or whatever other than my girlfriend. If anything, it puts her on the same level as me. But with stranger women, yeah, I can see that. But on the other hand, you don't know their name, and calling someone young lady, I think that's what she is, right? What else am I supposed to call her? Stranger women! Point number 7. Seek enthusiastic consent in your sexual encounters if you're having sexy time. And the other person stops reciprocating. I gotta look that word up. Gets quiet, seems tense or stiff, avoid making eye contact, pauses or whatever. Stop what you're doing. Okay, I can totally see that if you wanna have sexy time with your partner or whoever, and she gives the signs that, I'm not kinda in the mood for that. You should maybe stop for a second and ask if everything's okay. I can see that. I can totally see that. But here's the thing. You don't just have a quickie with someone on the street. Before you have sexy time with someone you picked off from a party or your partner, there's usually some more time for her to say, you know what, I just don't wanna do the sex right now. And I get it might be a little bit hard for some women to say, so I see why that point makes sense, yeah. And it also might be that, your sex partner could be really drunk or whatever, so it's always good to be a little bit more observant when having, this sexy time. I can see that. Number 8, don't use gendered or misogynistic insults. Bitch, cunt, slut, pussy, fag, girly, sissy, cock, etc. That now I'm definitely demonetized. Use insults that work on everyone rather than insults that specifically target the feminine as weak, lesser, or undesirable. Asshole is a nice multi-purpose choice. We all have one. How about this? Don't insult any fucking one. Ever thought of that? Number 9. If there are little boys, teen boys, and young men in your life, role model that the feminine is not less than. Challenge them on their dismissive ideas around what counts as girl stuff. Buy them a doll, paint your nails together, show up wearing pink. Do something that's coded as traditionally feminine in a way that embraces the feminine as a valid way of being, not in a way that mocks femininity. Doesn't doing that really just mock femininity? I mean, wearing pink, for example, look at my logo. Okay, my logo right now is an orange because of Halloween, but my logo usually is pink. It's not girly to wear pink or to like the color pink, but doing nails together? Can you imagine? Because they are referring to young men. What does young men mean? My friends are also young men. I'm also a young man. I don't go painting my nails together with my friends. So does that mean I am disrespecting women? You know what? I'm all about respecting women right now, so I'm just gonna call my friend Sergio and ask him if he wants to play those names with me, because like I really want to respect women right now. So I'm just gonna call him right now. Hallo? Sergio?
Ja.
Ich wollte dich mal fragen, hast du Lust, morgen mit mir Fingernägel lackieren zu gehen? So Maniküre und so?
The fuck? Ich hab morgen Uni, Alter, und du sollst so eine Scheiße machen.
Ich weiß nicht, weil, also, ich habe halt gerade so einen Artikel gelesen, ne? Von wegen, Frauen respektieren und so. Und die meinen, man sollte vielleicht mal so mit Freunden so Nägel lackieren gehen, so.
Ja, du siehst so viel voraus.
Wie, warum sagst du das denn jetzt?
Deswegen wird sie verloren.
Nein, ich mach gerade so ein Video, deswegen.
Was die, Alter?
Ja, ciao. So, he wasn't really, too keen on the idea, so I guess he's just sexist. Yeah, that has to be it. Alright, moving on. Number 10. Be wary of constantly or only telling little girls they're pretty and cute or commenting on their hairstyle and clothing. I know little girls often wear fun and stuff and it's easy to comment on, but it tells her and the little boys nearby that girls should be valued first and foremost for their looks. Instead, try things like, what kind of toy is that? That looks fun. What is it? Are you reading any good books? What's your favorite subject in school? That's just creepy. Okay, that's just creepy. You don't go ahead and ask random little girls you meet on the playground such things. I mean, if it's your kid, okay. I don't really see why this is a point. It's so pointless. Number 11. When a woman is walking alone and you end up walking behind her, especially in dark or secluded areas, please slow down to increase the distance between you, or better yet, cross the street. Literally go out of your way to help her feel that you're not following me here. Okay, I can also see that, you know. But then again, why would you walk into dark and secluded areas anyway? But I mean, I get it. But the base idea that you should always do that seems kind of delusional. I mean, could you imagine in crowded places like New York City or Japan, even Tokyo? It's not possible. It's not possible. When you go on the streets, there are tons of people and you can't constantly, you know, keep avoiding them like I don't know, fucking Neo from Matrix. It's not possible. Or you have to buy one of those, what are those called? You know those balls where you can get into and then just roll around? You wouldn't need to buy one of those, or just cover yourself in like, I don't know, a garbage bag or whatever, so that you're clearly no issue for any woman and that they all can feel safe. Every man should do that, absolutely. Number 12. Tell your elders to do better. Pervy grandpa and racist grandma might seem harmless at Xmas dinner, but as their health declines, they will largely end up being cared for by women and POC who don't deserve dehumanizing treatment. Call it out. You can teach dogs old new tricks, and you should definitely try. Now, referring to elderly people as dogs, it's not really nice. And then she wrote, someone below pointed out that this metaphor equating the elderly to dogs is disrespectful. I agree with them. I'm not deleting it because hiding mistakes is creepy. You know, if you make a mistake, you shouldn't hide it, you should fix it and own up to it. This is the exact opposite. You're saying, okay, I made a mistake, so what? So you are expecting others to change and fix their own mistakes and errors that they have about, you know, respecting women and such. But then you clearly use a disrespectful metaphor and you can't own up to it. But you still expect everyone else to own up to their mistakes. That's faulty logic. That's so hypocritical, I can't even process it. Okay, before I get any madder, let's just jump right into point 13. Don't argue so much in conversations around types of oppression that you don't personally experience. Keep an eye open for our culture's gross habit of putting the onus on the oppressed persons to dredge up their pain for inspection. Instead, try this. If you don't believe something is an issue, use the Googles. Find, say, 3 articles written by people in that demographic and read them. I mean, basically she's just saying, go look stuff up, and I'm always for looking stuff up before you say something. But why am I not allowed to argue in conversations that I don't personally experience? I mean, if I have an opinion and I have the facts to back it up, am I not allowed to participate in such conversations simply because I'm a man? Simply because I was just born with a gender that I couldn't choose? So basically what she's saying is, if you are of the opposite gender, you are not allowed to have a strong opinion about it. Only we are allowed to argue about it, and we are allowed to you know, do stuff, and we build the ideas, and you have to accept them. This is not how productive conversations work. You can't argue with someone if the only people you argue with are on the same side as you. It makes no sense. And what makes this even worse is how she said in point 3 that I should rather look for articles written by females. And basically she's destroying that argument by saying you're not allowed to have any big part in those conversations because you're a man. Even though I clearly should have, in her opinion, the opinion of a feminist. It makes no sense. And the last point, the last step to fully respect women. If you feel uncomfortable during conversations about sexism, the only correct response is to be quiet and listen and try to focus on the topic at hand rather than center your own feelings. It's hard, it's worthwhile. Yes, because you have a different opinion than the ones that are trying to shove their opinion up your ass. Shut the fuck up. You're not allowed to have an opinion about it if it's not an opinion that we agree with and we allow. You're not allowed to have it, okay? You can shove your opinion right up your ass, fuck your opinion, and even better, go fuck yourself with it, because you are clearly a sexist for having a different opinion, even if that opinion is well founded. We don't care if that opinion makes sense, we don't care if they have the statistics, we don't care if what you have to say is common sense. Your opinion is different, so go fuck yourself. And by that, I have ascended to a multi-women respecter. I'm a king, I'm a god of women respecting now. And I only have Nicole to thank for this. I am now a god women respecter. Thank you so much. Okay, but I think it's time for a little bit serious commentary. While I can see why some of those points make sense, and I agree with some of them, those points are common sense, or at least they should be common sense. While the other points are so delusional and sexist, it's incredible how you can come up with this stuff. I'm supposed to boost voices, boost writers, boost everyone simply because they are female. And it doesn't even matter what they say. I'm not allowed to call my girlfriend cute names like honey, because that's disrespectful towards them, but they are allowed to call me those names. I'm not allowed to say bitch, cunt, or whatever, but I'm allowed to say asshole, motherfucker, or whatever. That's okay. I should allow my son to grow up with dolls and painting nails and stuff. But the opposite thing is it's not even mentioned. Like little girls growing up with boy toys. We don't have an opinion about that. I'm not allowed to talk to little girls on the playground if it's about her looks, but I am totally allowed to ask her literally anything else. I have to distance myself from every woman that I see on the streets, no matter how crowded the place is. I have to distance myself from every woman I see. I'm not allowed to even get that close to her. I mean, could you imagine that situation in trams, trains, or buses or whatever? It doesn't work. When you're out in the dark, then yes, maybe, okay, keep your distance. Always nice to keep your distance and not be that close to one another, but come the fuck on. And I'm also not allowed to contribute in any conversations about sexism, because first I'm male and second my opinion doesn't matter. That is sexism, and you can't fight sexism with even more sexism. You can't tell me what to do or how to behave or what to say and what not to say simply because I'm a man. Because that is sexism. I mean, I get some of those things, but they are common sense. Why not, instead of trying to teach men how to behave towards women, why not teach everyone how to behave good overall? How's that idea? What's that idea for a change? Whew. Okay, but that's enough for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you later.